If you have a reactive dog, keep watching, because in this video I'm going to talk about the top 3 mistakes that I see people make with their reactive dogs, and I'm going to give you 3 pieces of advice on how you can help your dog through this. So the first mistake is that people have a dog that's reactive to other dogs or people or cars, etc. And as their dog escalates in their behaviour, they also escalate with it. So I quite often see people shouting at their dogs and getting frantic. Now, some people will shout at their dogs to tell them off, and other people will be shouting at their dog trying to calm them down. All right, they're shouting at their dog, telling them it's all right, it's okay, it's fine, when it absolutely is not okay and it isn't fine. All right, here's the thing: you can't fight fire with fire. So my best piece of advice for this is to remain calm. Now, that is super difficult to do in the beginning stages, but if you can't even be calm in those situations, you've got no chance of being able to expect your dog to be calm in that situation either. Okay, now it's not going to take away the problem completely. Working with reactive dogs is actually working on a number of things together to get a good end result, and that's one of the things that you can do. So before moving on to number 2, I just wanted to let you guys know that in the next couple of months we're going to have an educational video library available whereby you can see exclusive training videos. So let's move on to number 2. So the second mistake that I see people making is that they give affection at the wrong time. If your dog is being reactive, you don't want to be affectionate towards them. I see people all the time. They'll pick their dog up, they'll give them a cuddle, give them a kiss. Now, the reason that people do this is because when humans are upset, what we tend to do is give people affection, all right? Or for a child, for example, you'll give them a cuddle, you'll give them a kiss, you'll tell them, look, okay, it's fine. And that generally works. But dogs are on a different operating system. Okay, they're a different species. Now, if you have a dog that is reactive for reasons other than fear, what you're doing by being affectionate is reinforcing a behaviour that you actually don't want. But if your dog is being reactive because they are fearful, you might think that giving affection is going to make them feel safe, but actually it's the opposite. It tends to make them feel more insecure. So my advice for that, if your dog is being reactive, is to actually dial down the affection that you're giving. Okay, work on the dog's confidence. Put them through situations in a way that you can actually reinforce good, calm behaviour. You absolutely don't want to be giving affection when your dog is hitting the roof being reactive. So before we move on to number 3, I just wanted to let you guys know that we do offer in-person dog training sessions with myself. So if that's something that you're interested in, send us a message and we'll get you sorted. So let's go on to number 3. This is when people wait too long to get help. Now, most people will have basically an episode of their dog where they'll say, okay, they're starting to be a bit reactive, and they'll sit on it and they'll say to themselves, I'm going to wait because I don't really want to spend money on a dog trainer. I'll see if it fixes itself first. I'll see if the dog grows out of it. This never happens, okay? If dogs just magically grew out of behaviours, then dog trainers such as myself, we wouldn't have a job, okay? Or at least we wouldn't have a job in this industry. We'd be doing something else. But dog reactivity doesn't just vanish on its own. It's something that you've got to work on. Now, if you've got a dog that is only being reactive for a couple of weeks, that's great because they haven't really had a lot of time to develop that behaviour, which means that it's going to be easier to work with and you'll have a quicker turnaround time as well, versus if you allow your dog to basically develop that reactive behaviour. Because what happens over the course of several months or years is that the reactive behaviour has time to develop. It has time to get worse. Now, what this means is you will end up needing more training sessions. You see, if you have a dog that's only being reactive for, say, 2 weeks, it's not going to be that bad, which means that you might only need 1 or 2 training sessions to get the information that you need to help your dog through that. But if your dog has been reactive for several months, what that means is the behaviour has developed. It's developed, it's got worse, it's got more severe, you've got more problems, which means that you're going to need more sessions to get through all the information that you need so that you can help your dog through that. So actually waiting a long time to get help for reactivity can make the dog worse and it can cost you more later on. Also, let's talk about time. If your dog is only being reactive for 2 weeks, It means that you don't need to put in a massive time investment to train your dog. But if your dog is being reactive for several months, the problems are worse, it's more severe, there's more problems than just the initial one, which means that you need to invest more of your time to train that dog. Okay, so the longer you wait, the more you're probably going to end up spending, and the more time that you're going to have to give up of your free time to train your dog. Okay, so it's always better to get help sooner rather than later. Now, I hope you enjoyed this live video. In February, I'm going to be doing a live Q&A, so if you've got any questions, make sure to put them in the comment section below. Like I said before, we do have in-person training sessions available, and in the next couple of months we're going to be putting together an educational video library, so make sure to look out for that as well. So anyway, if you've got any questions, like I say, let us know. Hope you enjoyed the video, and hopefully I'll see you on the next one.